Episode 194 of the Wilderness Podcast is brought to you by our supporters. If you would like to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/thewilderness-podcast, where you can support the show. I want to welcome Caden Boomer Jones to the Patreon crew this week. Special thank you to our top tier supporters: Gentinu, Splimo, Szechuan, Strosity, Mallard, Twisted Soul, Jay Blasey, Space Chandler, and Yay Fiber. If Patreon is not your thing, but you still want to support the show, you can make a one-time donation at buymeacoffee.com/dills, where you can buy me a virtual coffee. So thank you to Angie666 for keeping me caffeinated this week. And of course, last but not least, thank you to everyone who boosts the Discord server, discord.gg/thewilderness. Normie Farts, Should've, Hoyt, Battle Staves, and Chick. All right, it's the holiday special. It's not crazy special, but like Jagex dropped some pretty big pieces of news on us this week. So let's dive into it. Welcome to episode 194 of the Wilderness Podcast. I am Dills, and joined as usual is Mr. Heartless.
Hey, Dills.
How's it going?
Doing well, thanks.
This is our Christmas special. The only thing that makes it special is that it's falling before Christmas. But yeah, it's Christmas, which means we got our old school RuneScape Christmas event. And my lisp almost came out there. When I grew up, I had a speech impediment for saying the R sound.
Oh, damn.
So that Christmas almost came out as a Quismas, but anyways. So they've redecorated parts of old school RuneScape, particularly Falador, and they have an event as well that they've placed. And they do this every year. And they come with unique cosmetics and some fun rewards that are really just for aesthetics. But if you've missed any of the previous Christmases, jump into this one so that you can get all the previous rewards as well. And I say that they're all cosmetics, but they actually give you this like hidden stat or perk, which is warm clothing, which is used in Wintertod. So if you don't want to get the clue hunters for Wintertod, you can grab these instead. So that's there. But not just that. We also have the 11th annual Golden Gnome Awards that finished. All the finalists or all the winners were announced. They did this every year. It's like the Grammys for RuneScape, both old school and RuneScape 3. A little way to kind of celebrate some of the content creators and people within the community who make some cool stuff. And do you watch a lot of content creators for RuneScape?
I watch YouTube, definitely, and sometimes I watch streams.
Yeah, do you watch like a lot of YouTube? Like, there's some people who watch like every like all the big like YouTube.
I mean, I've seen basically all the big series, all the good ones, anyways. And I'm starting to make my way through some of the smaller content creators, like the guy who's doing like a Clue Scroll Iron Man. I found his series. It was like out from last year. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where he's like going from scratch on an iron to get the Bloodhound. I know he was popular last year, but I never tried it. But I've been enjoying his series. But yeah, I've watched all the big ones, like, you know, Soul Missions, The Engineer, Nublet. Yeah, I've seen all of the main series. They're all quite good. Some better than others, but all generally like high quality for sure.
The content creators, but particularly on YouTube, have gotten so good over the years, because I've been watching it for a while. And like, if you go back through the Golden Gnomes, it used to be like all the YouTubers used to do like vlog style videos where they literally just played the game and they would just kind of make a video of them being like, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it.
No editing at all. That was like I call it a friend Bodhi style editing, where they just throw their clips together, which is, you know, fine to see progress. Like, that's all you really need. But yeah, then there started to be some newer YouTubers that started to do a lot more shiny things.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I used to kind of make fun of the YouTubers for RuneScape because they would always like, there would be like very little editing or very production work. And it'd just be people like kind of what we're doing on the podcast, but it was on YouTube, so it was different. You expect higher quality content on YouTube, right?
Yeah, and then now you have people like Guns Chili and Solo Mission and Jimmy Settled that do all these like high quality videos. I'm sure that there are plenty of others, but those are just the ones that come to mind. And Soup as well with his series. All those people make really high quality videos, and there's tons of people that do it. So there's lots of good YouTube out there. We should put together like a recommendation list, like a top 5 at some point for our favorite series.
That's a good idea. Yeah, maybe we can have our own version of the Golden Gnomes.
Yeah, let's do it. Maybe we do that for New Year's, eh?
Oh yeah, the New Year's Spectacular. Yeah, that's where we go all out. There's a ton of awesome content. And the only reason I bring this up is because, one, if you maybe just listen to podcasts or you just got into RuneScape, you'll be surprised about how many great videos there are, and they're really good, like surprisingly good for a video game. And I think these Golden Gnomes help promote, and it kind of pushes the bar for like how well the quality and production has to be for, the next finalists for next year's videos, because everyone's trying to top the other one, and there's a lot of really good stuff. So anywho, that's the only reason I bring it up. I don't know, a lot of people just play RuneScape and they don't care to watch YouTube videos about it, but
yeah, that's fair. I used to watch Bodhi's stream a lot. I really liked his hardcore stuff. Also, we have similar tastes in music, so that also helps out because he loves.
I like the hardcore Euro dance music.
I definitely enjoy it. It's one of my. It's not my favorite type, but I definitely like it when I'm playing RuneScape and doing like high intensity stuff.
Helps keep you in tick perfect clicking.
It's like when I'm in the mood for it, definitely that's what I'll listen to when I'm doing like intense gaming, like Inferno or Corrupted Gauntlet or something like that.
I know what you mean. When I need to focus, I throw on some drum and bass, and I just freaking zone out.
Exactly. Yeah, I have to be in the mood for it for sure, though.
Yeah, like I usually listen to like heavy. I listen to a lot of heavy metal and stuff too, but sometimes it's just like it's too hard.
I see. Metal's not not my favorite genre. I definitely listen. I like it live. It's quite fun. I have a friend who organizes. I think I may have told you this, maybe not on the podcast, but a friend of mine organizes a lot of the heavy metal concerts in Victoria, Vancouver area. Yeah, and then and he used to go before coronavirus. He used to go on tour with a lot of them in Europe and like help manage them. So I got to go to a lot of free metal concerts in Victoria and Vancouver, which was fun.
Out there in the mosh pits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I love to be. I usually wasn't in the pits, but I was on the outskirts having a few beers for sure.
It's fun.
Yeah, he looked so scary, dude. He was like. He's a big guy. He has long, curly blonde hair, and he was always in full leathers. Has lots of tattoos, but he's the friendliest man you will ever meet. He just has this soft and gentle voice. He looks so scary. Maybe my girlfriend met him for the first time. I was like, we're meeting my friend Casey today, and she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, he looks a bit scary. And then she meets him, and she's like, nah, he's the nicest man I've ever met. I'm like, yeah, it sounds about right.
It's funny. That's like the vibes of like a lot of metal, especially metal shows, because I used to go to a lot of concerts when I was in high school, and I used to go into the mosh pits, and it's like it's intense, but it's also like very wholesome and friendly, where like one time I got pushed over and I lost my shoe, and everyone just stops and they help you get your shoes back. Or if somebody falls, everyone stops to help to make sure you're okay and whatnot. It's very wholesome.
Yeah, it's not what you would think for sure. So I definitely enjoy that.
I think because it's so violent, people make it a point to like make sure nobody gets hurt. People always are looking out for each other because you just want to push and throw people around. And if somebody gets hurt, that's no fun for anyone. There used to be this issue where you would go to like a metal concert, but it would be like, I don't know if you want, I'd always call it like screamo, which is the more quote unquote emo, the scene kids. And there'd be like a crossover metal band, like, if anyone who listens to the music, like Killswitch Engage was one that came to mind. And whether it's really heavy, but there's a lot of singing and stuff too. Then you have these kids that are called hardcore dancers, and they would throw their elbows and do like cartwheels in the mosh pit and throwing fists. It was like the metalheads versus the scene kids they'd kind of have to duke it out.
Yeah, I was never that intense into it. I just enjoyed the live concerts, so wouldn't listen to it normally, like when I'm gaming or something.
Yeah, it doesn't always fit the level of intensity for RuneScape. Although, anyway, maybe I take that back because EDM is a lot more fast paced, as in terms of like, I guess, beats per minute. I'm not going to pretend to talk about music like I know the technical side of music theory and stuff. So let's move on. Another update we got this week was, I think somebody at Jagex has been listening to the podcast and they've been loving the Ultimate Iron Man content that I've been talking about so much that they're like, we need to change the way death piles work for Ultimate Iron Man.
Yeah.
So they made some proposed changes there, which is interesting. I don't know where that came from, but it came from somewhere. And of course, the Android beta has finished. And they kind of talk about their feedback, or talk about the feedback and some next steps. And the main reason I want to bring this up is because I think I was complaining a couple episodes ago that not complaining, but I voiced my disappointment that I wasn't accepted into the beta. Well, I don't know what happened, but I saw I had a message in my mail center on my main, and I did get accepted to the beta.
Dills.
It's just I didn't notice until it was over.
Classic Dills.
That sucks. That sucks. Gosh, I think that's about it. Oh, last thing I have to mention. This is a big one. They released, and I love that they've been doing this. They released a trailer for Nex, and the release date, which is coming out in January.
Yep.
Did you have a chance to look at the trailer?
Oh, yeah, it's really good.
Oh, it's so good. The trailers they used to do sucked. It was literally like what we were talking about, the YouTube videos where it's just someone doing like a vlog style video. Mm-hmm. That's how the trailers used to be for like God Wars and stuff. But recently, the last 2 or 3 trailers have been so freaking good. So we'll definitely have to play that. It's like a minute long, but okay. Anyways, enough of what we're going to be talking about. What have you been up to this week? What do you got plans for Christmas?
So yeah, I finished work on Friday. I was just subbing this month because my last contract ended, and I actually got a new contract. So
nice.
Starting January 4th, I'll be teaching grade 1, which is
grade 1,
really young, a little bit out of my comfort zone, but it's a contract. Got to do what you got to do.
Oh wow, that's gonna be
a lot
interesting.
of learning to read, learning to write at that age. It's gonna be fun though. I did get to meet them, and I know the teacher in the school, so they seem like a really good group of kids. So I should be okay. Should be a smooth transition.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to working consistently at one school with one group of kids all the time. I much prefer that to going to random places.
Yeah, you get to know them. It's probably rewarding to see like the kids getting like improving and
it's just
whatever skill.
Generally a little more fun. It's also nice to know what you're gonna do when you wake up in the morning. Like, oh, today I'm gonna do these things at work, rather than being like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I guess I'll find out when I get there. That was the worst part for me. Not so much meeting the new kids, that's whatever. It's like, what the hell am I gonna do? Is it gonna be organized or not? But at least now I know that it will be because I'm in charge. So that's nice.
Nice.
That's been real life. Not too much. Just wrapping presents and
getting ready for Christmas. Do you do anything? Or do you just go see like family and stuff?
Yeah, my parents live pretty close to me, so I'll go and spend Christmas Day with them and my sister. And my girlfriend obviously will come with me. And that's pretty much it. It's very low key. Never done anything insane for Christmas. Most of my family lives in England.
Oh really?
Yeah,
oh, that's cool.
It's just myself, my parents, and my sister who live in Canada. So everyone else lives in England. So we never have really done the huge gatherings. I guess my grandparents do live here, but we don't see them very often.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Small family stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much been real life. Nothing too exciting. What about you? How's the baby?
The baby's good. He is just hanging out at the hospital still. He's just, just growing. And that's the stage we're at. We have to like wait until he's got enough energy to feed on his own. Right now he's got a tube in his nose, and that's what they were using beforehand, but now he's feeding on a bottle. And if he could do his whole feed in like 25 minutes, then he is ready to come home. But right now and he does well. The problem is you get to like the last stretch. It's like the inferno for him, right? He gets all the way up to Zuck, and then he taps out because he's just so tired.
He just can't handle Zuck yet. I mean,
yeah, he's not quite there.
That's to be expected, I guess.
He's getting closer. He's getting closer. It's like you wouldn't. I've never done the Inferno. I don't think I've even stepped in the Inferno. But of course, you had done it kind of recently as well. So like you get to Zuck. That's kind of like the home stretch. It just takes how many times did you get to Zuck before you completed the Inferno?
How many Zucks did I do?
Yeah, before you completed
3 or 4. I can't remember. I think 4.
Nice.
maybe three or four. I can't remember. It wasn't any more than that though.
True. So yeah, that's not
Zuck's not the hardest part.
Amount.
It's the there's if you call it break it into three parts. There's the waves, triple jets, and Zuck. The waves are the hardest. Zuck is the second hardest, and then triple jets are the easiest. Once you have it all down, kind of thing.
So that's where he's at. He's at Zuck right now, and he's getting close.
Got to get to those healers, and then he can come home. Then he can take it home.
Exactly. It's really funny because like I'll be feeding him, and anyone who's had like an infant, I guess would know this. I mean, they're like the equivalent to like a drunk adult in the sense that like you're feeding it, and then when he gets full, he's got one eye closed, one eye squinted, and he's like sitting there with his mouth open, drooling. Like he looks like he's a drunk like little baby. It's funny.
That's hilarious.
So that's where the baby's at. Not a whole lot is really going on. A few more weeks,
then he'll be back at home with you and your partner.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly.
Good.
So it's that's it. So that's my real life. We're not doing anything for Christmas because of we just want to be close to the hospital. Plus, with this new COVID variant, it's kind of like
it's not doing super well right now. So better to be safe, right?
Yeah, exactly. You hear all these like it's super contagious, but it's not as dangerous. But anyways, when you get to the realm of having a preemie that has a lower immune system, you're just like,
yeah. I mean, sure, if you're a healthy adult, but you still got to be safe, and you don't want to spread it. So got to do your part. It's not that hard. We've already done it for 2 years. May as well keep going.
So we're not seeing anybody for Christmas, and plus we just want to stay near the hospital because part of it is like any day now they're gonna ask us to come stay at the hospital for a couple days to get them ready to go home. So we're like no plans because that's been my real life. Not a lot going on there. Just
how's big RuneScape treating you? You been playing much?
Oh, big RuneScape. I actually have been playing. I have been playing a bunch. As I think about where I've been at from the last episode I talked to now, a lot has happened. I'm not really playing my main. And I feel like, I don't know if, I'm in this weird spot. This happens a lot. Anyone who like listens to a lot of episodes probably hear like nonstop waves. Every couple of episodes, I'm like, I'm bored of my main again. And it feels like it's the time where eventually I'm going to start playing on my Iron Man more.
Because you hear Heartless every week having so much fun.
Exactly. And everyone's like, well, I just made another Iron. And I remember in 2020, there was like a huge break from the podcast, but I came back and like literally everyone who had been hanging out in the clan chat made an Iron. And you're just like, holy crap, what did I miss?
It's just like the natural progress of the game, I think.
Anywho, my point is I haven't really been playing my main too much. I've been playing on my Ultimate Iron Man, which if this is your first time listening, I'm capping his HP at 10, and I'm not training any skills except for his defense. So that's primarily it's only through experience lamps, whether it's like random events, quests, or you can get them through the Varrock Museum as well. So I've been doing that, and it's been a lot of fun. Last week I was complaining about how much tithe farming sucks, and I still stand by that. But I finally got my seed box, which was nice. So I was wanting the seed box that I could go do Winter Todd and I could keep on to all the seeds. And I need to do Winter Todd so that I could get construction levels easily through repairing the braziers. And I need the construction levels so that I have access to the costume room so that I can store other equipment so that my inventory isn't full of just random pieces of stuff. So that's the move. So I got 50 construction after that. I built my costume room. And then I started lamping a little bit and doing a little bit of the odd quests here or there because I need to get to the Fossil Island eventually because that unlocks a bunch of Hunter and a lot of Hunter and other stuff. I can't. It's all leaving me now. But there's Hunter, there's drift, net fishing. There's a bunch of stuff that you can do over there, which is pretty cool. So I got a lot of I've been playing my Ultimate Iron Man. I've been having way more fun than I thought I would. I have been sinking way more time than I thought I have been. I like looked on the time played and it was like you have like 11 days played. And I was like, Jesus, what? How the hell do I have 11 days played on this account already? That's a lot. But it's fun. And I realized as I was like thinking back about my experience with RuneScape, and I realized that I really like making accounts.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I don't always like I don't know. The goal is I always want an account. I have goals and what I want to do with it, but I never do what I want to do with it. Like I've made so many pures. I have a pure that's like level 60. I've quested a bunch that I could get the barrel chest anchor that's got 52 prayer, like 85 range.
It might just be your personality, Dills, because I've noticed that like in other games too. So like Magic, for example. Myself, I have a few decks that I have like 5 decks maybe that I've had for over 4 or 5 years. Like when I really like a deck, I never take it apart. I just keep it and always improve it. And then occasionally I'll make a new deck and slightly add to the pile, but I'll never really take apart my old ones if I love them. I'll just keep improving them.
Whereas just like your Iron Man.
Exactly. Where I have a few friends who just like to change their decks like every few months. He'd come with a new deck and it was just never as good as my decks because I've been working on mine for years, and he just kept like building new decks, like half-assed them, and they'd be like, oh, I don't like this one, and move on to the next one. I'm like, bro, you have to settle into it and like improve it and play with it a while. He's like, no, I think I'm just gonna build this new shiny thing. And that was my friend. Eventually he did settle on like 1 or 2 that he liked, but he would always chop and change the rest.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like it gives you it is kind of fun to build something new with, like, you have an idea, you have a vision for something, and then you start putting it together. And usually before it's perfect or even close to perfect, you're like, well, I'm bored. I want to make something else. and make another account. Maybe I'm a perfectionist, but I don't really think I am. I just like to have one thing to focus on, and I play the same way inside of RuneScape. And I've even noticed that I've mentioned before that I like to grind something and don't stop until I'm finished it. Speaking of which, this week I did like 500 armor KC in 10 days. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I got 3 chest plates, and I finally got my chain skirt just before 900 KC. That's all I did nonstop, and I was enjoying it. I just either tutorial skipped for tasks or I was doing armor. And some people would be like, that is freaking crazy. How do you do that? But that's just like how I like to play the game. And I know other people that just like to, I'll do 5 KC of this boss, 2 KC of this boss. Oh, I'll go do some mining for a bit. I'll go do some wood cutting. I'll go back to this other boss, do some giant mole, do some wilderness stuff. Like just skill hop or boss hop a lot. And that's fair. That's just how some people like to play.
It's similar across a lot of different MMOs, especially, but like RuneScape, it's nice that you can make for me, that there's so much content to do that you can sit on your one account and you are never basically complete. It would take you a lifetime to do if you wanted to like really make the coolest account possible. Like, there's collection logs, stuff to grind. There's always something to do, especially if you're in Iron. But at the same time, this game gives you the freedom to make so many different accounts and so many like types of accounts. Like I have a 1 defense pure. I want to make a 20 defense pure, like initiate pure, even though they're not really good, but they're just kind of cool. I got my ultimate Iron Man, which is basically a skiller that but you can level defense, so it's going to look like a shredded level 15 at some point wearing rune armor. That's kind of the goal there. Often you bump into accounts and you're just like, man, that is like the wackiest account. There's a guy called like 420 KC. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
that
he's an Iron Man. I've seen him before. We've chatted.
Yeah, he has 420 KC on like every single boss,
or like 1420 KC, or like 2420 KC. Yeah, that's his like gimmick. But no 420 KC is up yet, so not a real account.
True. Yeah, exactly.
I don't even think rank 1 is like 200 something. So I think he's got a ways to go. But yeah, it's like a nice sort of like meme account, you know?
Yeah, and those are kind of fun because in a sense, this game is all about like the journey, but also part of a lot of the goals for stuff is like, it's kind of nice if somebody looks at your account and they're just like, dude, that's a sweet account. I know that's a lot of motivation for people. And because I know I'll have that same reaction. I've been doing a lot of one way you can get like consistent experience on an ultimate or on a skiller account, right? There's a few things that are tough to train. If you're a skiller, and that's like Slayer is the one that's tough because you can't do any combat. And for my account, getting defense levels is like impossible unless you're going to get experience lamps. But the way you would level like the Slayer or defense is through the Varrock Museum. And you can clean specimens, which is like this really kind of boring task, but you have to do it for kudos. You do it for the dig site, like a ruby amulet enchantment for the necklace, I think it is, to get to Fossil Island.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, so you have to you basically just clean these specimens. And it's pretty AFK, but it's pretty boring. But what happens is you end up having a very small chance of getting it's called an antique lamp, which will give you 500 experience and any skill above, I think it's level 10. So that's how people level up their Slayer, and that's how I'm going to level up my defense once I can't get any quests or any diaries or whatever it is. So while I'm there, I see this is just what tons of people do. Yeah, so many skillers play this game, like a surprisingly amount of skillers, and some of them are Ironmen, some of them are just main accounts, and they're sitting there lamping their Slayer to like level, I guess the goal is 99, but it's like 1 to 4K experience an hour. It's rough.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I've done some terrible things on my account, but that sounds really bad.
It's slow. Like, it's really slow. And the worst thing is, it's not like you're getting experience consistently. I think this is the nice and the rough part. Like, for me, I'm a low level. Every time I got experience lamp, my defense would grow a level, so it was kind of exciting. But once you get to a higher enough level, it's like you spend 20 minutes, you get 1 experience lamp, and you're like, yay, I need 20 of these to level. I'm going to use it and wait for the next one. But anyways, the whole point is, while I was there, I see all these crazy accounts, and I'm like, often like, why are you doing this? And then it's like, it's just fun, like building these weird accounts and having these limitations and just whatever it is. Having this like unique account is kind of fun. You know, they call them snowflake accounts because they're just like, you feel like a unique snowflake. That's the whole meme, I guess, behind it. But anywho, there's my you do your push for Iron Man. I'll do my push for like weird accounts.
Okay.
But it's fun.
Good.
It's fun. Surprisingly fun. I didn't think it would be fun, and here I am, like playing it nonstop every single day.
Oh, it's good. I'm glad you've been enjoying the game.
Me too. What you mentioned briefly? Have you been up to anything else on RuneScape?
Yeah. So Armored, as mentioned, took a little while to get finished, but it's really nice to have that full armor set done now. So I ended up with 2 helmets, 3 chest plates, and the chain skirt in the end.
And the chain skirt's what you needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Which is probably about on rate, maybe a little bit under. But I didn't get the hilt, so that's the last item I'm missing to complete God Wars dungeon.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yep, it's the worst one. So I'll go back for it some other time. Not right now. I'm not interested at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first goal. So I finished that. Then the only item I'm missing from absolute max range gear, with any style, is Ranger boots.
Oh no, that sucks.
Yeah, so I've done 598 medium clues, which is twice the drop rate.
Ooh.
At about 5 clues per hour. So
ouch.
Do the math. It's not fun. I mean, it's hard to say. It's not the worst place to be. It's one of the worst places to be dry because there's not actually any reward for you. I've been thinking about this, like what is one of the worst things you've done in your account? And I think medium clues, most people just generally hate them. Because once you have all the requirements out of the way for the master and hard clues, like there's no reward from it, and it's extremely slow and not very fun. Doing the actual clues is fine. Collecting them in Poro Poro is just awful. I really wish there was like some other way to get clues. I do think it's the worst place. It's not the worst place to go dry. The worst place to go dry is still probably like Dragon Warhammer or like Bofa, somewhere like you need the item to move on, so you feel like your account isn't going anywhere, like you're just locked into it. I think those are generally the worst places to go dry, though they sometimes do have benefits. So at least Dragon Warhammer, you make money. Same thing with so what's it called, Gauntlet, you can make quite a bit of money. Same with like there's good places to go dry, like Hydra is technically quite good because you can bank 99 prayer, a bunch of herblore money. So when you look back on that, like Zulrah in hindsight was quite a good place to go dry for me because I have infinite scales. I still have like 200,000 scales left.
Right.
I don't think I'm ever going to go through them because I just don't use the blowpipe like I used to. So yeah, there's like hit and miss, but the Ranger boots, I mean, it's not a huge upgrade. So like in the end of the day, I can get away without them. But I'm getting to that point in my account now where there's really not that many items to go for, and they seem like a pretty obvious one. It kind of sucks to do them, but I'm just kind of chipping away at it, not going like full ham, or else I'd probably just quit because I really don't like medium clues.
I like for a main, you can just buy them, so I don't mind.
You just buy them. Like doing the actual clues is fun, and you can do a lot more per hour as a main. But I have to go to Poro Poro. I have to make the damn jars. Speaking of which, I actually tweeted Mod Ash for the first time, because the meta to get jars on an Iron Man is to do Hunter Kit, but you can only have one Hunter Kit in your inventory at a time. So you have to make the kit, bank the kit, and then cast the spell again. So I asked him, I was like, can we please have it so we can have more than one in the inventory? And he's like, yeah, but we don't want crazy experience rates. So I was like, what if you do like an auto cast function, like string jewelry? And he's like, yeah, okay, I think we could do that. So, I mean, hopefully we can get it in the game, because that would make getting the jars a lot easier.
That's weird.
Stupid. So that's not the best grind, but I'm chipping away at it. I'll get them eventually.
Yeah, that's the hard part, right? 1 in 300 is like,
especially with like how I like to play the game and just go like hard until I get the item. Like I just can't do that with medium clues. So I'm just gonna chip away at it. I've started going back to Corrupted Gauntlet because I think I'd like to get a blade.
Okay, so what would you use that for? The Blade of Sildor?
Mostly Theater of Blood. Yeah, because I'm using a regular whip. I don't really want to get regular whips anymore, so I'd rather just do Corrupted Gauntlet. So I've done maybe like 50 KC or so. Maybe like 520, 530. So I'll go until I get a blade. It might take a while, but I'm not too worried about it. I do enjoy Corrupted Gauntlet quite a bit. That's pretty much it. Oh, I've also been mining. Going hard on mining.
Nice.
Trying to get 92 for Amethyst.
Oh boy. What are your thoughts on it? I've been doing it a bunch. Well, I was doing it on my main.
I don't hate it as much as I used to, but it's quite slow. And I can't wait to get to Amethyst. And then there's like actual rewards for mining, because I don't really care about the ores right now. Like they're not really meaningful to me. Mm-hmm. But Amethyst will be, because it means arrows and darts, both of which will be super useful. And speaking of the arrows, as I told you, I've been doing Revenants at night, and I actually managed to get crystals number 3 and 4 to complete the obelisk in my house.
Oh, you got it. Nice.
Yeah, I got number 3 and 4, which is insane. Like the drop rate is 1 in 1600, and I got all 4 of them by 600 KC.
That's crazy.
On the orcs, I think I'd done like 1000 KC elsewhere, but yeah, basically I was at the drop rate for 1 and I got 3, which was really nice. Yeah, I'm super happy to have that thing. It's really nice for getting like ecumenical keys, just wilderness clues in general. It's so I'm pretty happy to be spooned on that. And yeah, it's cool because there's been a few Iron Men doing revs at night. Like Zugum's got a crossbow the other night, which is an insane. That's the dream. Got a crossbow on like 3000 KC, so I was super stoked when I saw that.
Yeah, they're all pretty rare, aren't they?
They are, but like getting a mace or a crossbow is the dream, and the bow is definitely the best of the two. Though I wouldn't complain about either. Be very happy to get one. So, yep, Amethyst will help towards that, I'm sure. If I do the like arrow method, there's a couple different methods to kill the revs, but they're all pretty good. Just depends whether or not you want to run into PKers more often or not. So yeah, that's pretty much been my week.
Oh boy,
obviously grinding. Bingo coming up. Like right, super stoked. So on the side, I've been trying to collect all the fees, and I've been trying to start to look at maybe where the team directions are going to go. Checking out some of the stats that I've collected. It's looking pretty good. We have 75 people signed up for bingo.
75.
That's the highest all-time bingo sign up. That's huge. So we're looking to do about 6 teams of maybe 12 or 13. And I think it's going to be really, really fun. Looking forward to this board this year. By the way, signups close on the 21st, which is probably when this podcast is coming out. Yeah. So if you're hearing now, it's probably too late. But we do another. We send another one in the spring. So you'll be welcome to come and join us on spring break, and then we do another in the summer. So like
it comes 3 times a year. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Cool. That's a good amount too. It's there's always another bingo on the horizon, and it seems to be falling. Like this is falling in between like updates, right? So it's really cool to see how that's like kind of working out. Like,
well, it makes sense though, right? Because I have a similar schedule. I have the very common schedule. which is off at spring break, off at Christmas, off in the summer. And a lot of people have sort of similar holidays, probably Jagex too. So that's why there's no content updates, which works out.
Yeah, that works out perfectly. So it's like, hey, if you're bored of the game and you don't want to quit because you're just absolutely addicted, you got bingo to tie you in between the Jagex updates.
Bingo is more fun than anything I've ever done in this game, like by far.
That's good.
It's just like an absolute blast, and you like get together with friends to get excited over drops that you just never get excited about. And there's a real like camaraderie to it. You make a lot of new friends. I highly suggest joining. Obviously, it's probably too late now. But all the people who did join up, we have a lot of first-time signups. So I am really excited to see what happens this year with bingo.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And if you're listening to this and you're like, damn, I really wanted to live the bingo experience. Well, you can live through the joys of other people. Because I always do like a kind of announcements. I kind of keep everyone updated because the teams are separated from one another. You can't really see how well another team is doing, but I'll drop little teasers here and there of like someone got a pet drop and all that stuff. So you can follow along there.
My guess is 7 pets this bingo across the board.
7 pets. Damn.
That's not even unreasonable. There's 6, 7, or 8 every time.
I recall there being a pet, if not the very first day bingo starts. If it's not then it's usually the same weekend or the first 3 days a pet gets dropped.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure maybe it was Declawed. Someone got like a Hydra pet like an hour into bingo last time.
And if I'm not mistaken, there was someone who got like 3 pets. There was like someone who got 3 pets to themselves.
Zran got 2 on my team last time, which was just outrageous. But you want Zran on your team. It's just she's a serial winner. I think she's won like 4 out of the 5 bingos. I don't know how. RNG is tweaked, you know?
I think she's botting.
Maybe. I don't know, man. It's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to it again. Opening night of bingo is just is one of the best times of the year. So that should be fun. And day after Christmas too. Chain one into the other. Oh, yeah.
Perfect stuff. Awesome.
We better get to these updates.
Yeah, okay, let's get to the updates. And there's a lot to talk about. Okay, so before we actually dive into the updates themselves, we got the trailer for Nex, the new boss that's coming in January. It's the newest addition to God Wars, which, I mean, we've never even seen an addition to God Wars. So this is going to be pretty cool. A lot of people are very excited for it. It's a new group boss. It's the general for Zeros. And yeah, so they dropped a trailer. So let's step away for a second. We'll play the trailer because this thing is pretty damn cool.
The prophecy foretold of an ancient warrior locked in a prison deep beneath Trollheim. A force so powerful, so malevolent, 4 opposing armies united to contain its evil. They called her the 5th General. It's said she hoards artifacts of tremendous power, and that an enchanted seal is all that separates the brave from her wrath. You don't believe the story's true, do you?
So there it is. I love what they're doing with the trailer. I know this is just the audio, but go on and check the video itself. The animation they do, it's really freaking cool. If that's what the HD client looks like down the road, hell yeah, I'm down for it. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I know a lot of people are pretty excited for it. If I could complain, we usually like to complain about one thing for each update. Not a huge fan of the next like the design, the way Nex looks, even though I know it's the original design. I'm not a huge fan of the armor either, but it's fine, I guess. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with the way she looks?
I think Nex looks cool. It's like different than some of the bosses we have in the game. It's very old schooly feeling, which is nice.
Yeah.
And the armor, it's not the best. It's not the worst though. I don't hate it.
It'll be cool to see.
It's not as cool looking as Bando's, but that's iconic armor, so it's pretty hard to replace.
Yeah, that's true.
It is somewhat fairly generic, but it's going to be super powerful. Actually, I mean, like, it's definitely going to be good. I've seen the numbers now. Like, it gives you a max hit or 2 with certain setups. So it is powerful, but it's not like a crazy leap, especially for the price that it's going to be going for.
Mm-hmm.
But it should be fun content. I think it's going to be extremely hard, like very punishing.
I would expect it, yeah.
And I imagine casual players maybe not be able to access it, or may not be able to do it. Just the fact that it has a bank outside of it makes me like a little worried.
Does it have a bank outside of it?
It does.
It did in the original, but
yeah, they went with the bank. So
they switched that. Oh, how did I miss that?
It leads me to believe that it's going to be quite hard. I did unlock I don't know if are we going to talk about the fact that you can unlock the room already?
Yeah, let's do it right now.
Okay, I'll just say it. So basically there's like a waiting room before you get into so it's basically 4 chambers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call it the waiting room. Then there's the main chamber where all the minions are. Well, you'll have to get some form of KC. I don't know exactly how it works. But they're like really high level monsters. There's no little bitch imps in there that you can just smack for your KC. Like, it's going to be hard to get it. Then there's a small chamber with a bank. Then there's next room, or the boss room. So you can unlock the first room, which I'll call the waiting room, by getting a key shard from each of the current God Wars dungeon bosses. So you have to kill Zami, Kree, Arma, and Sarah all once, and they guarantee a drop of this piece of the key. So you just go and kill them all, and then you put the 4 pieces together to unlock your frozen key, and that will get you into the waiting room before next. So if you're interested in doing next, I suggest in the next couple of weeks that you go and get your God Wars dungeon boss KCs, so that you can get into that waiting room. So that on day 1, if you want to join, you can. It's cool though. I really like that. Like, I think that's really good flavor.
Yeah, I'm glad I think it's cool too. It's not just like a door that like, oh, one day it's, because the door's been there since God Wars came out, right? There's this door and it has the symbol of every god on it, but it's been closed. Yep. And I think if you searched it, it's like a door that's been frozen for many years. So it's cool that you have to get a key to unlock it, and it's not just like, oh, it thawed and the door's open now. You actually have to get the key for it, which is that is cool.
Yeah, so really, really great design. I really like that. It sort of adds a little bit of story into the current game. So, and then they give us an extra couple weeks to get it done, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I managed to. I figured, I was like, if I'm only going for 1 KC, I may as well chip out some combat achievements. So I did some of those, and that was fun. Well, the Zami one wasn't fun. I did the mage only Zami, and I died a few times. It was really brutal. No. I don't know. I think I was just getting unlucky. That boss just hits so hard. I always forget like how painful Zami is to do without a twisted bow.
Oh boy.
So yeah, that's that. Any what's the next update on the blog after the news? Or sorry, after
we got the December Gielinor Gazette, and which usually they talk about it's kind of just like a news article that they release of like maybe what they're doing in the offices or what their plans are, whatever it is. This gives them a chance to kind of do a blog on like whatever they want, the freedom to do that. But this one has been pretty cool because we all know there's been a content drought since 2020, but we've also seen the team at Jagex grow like to a very high number that we've heard devs say, or we should say we've heard management say that they don't know how they're gonna all go back to the offices if they ever do, because there's not enough space for the team now because it's grown so much. So. And then, of course, it had us and many other people questioning, well, why aren't we getting new updates? Well, they gave us a roadmap for 2022. And if they were to stick to this roadmap, then this should be a very exciting year. So we got Q1 and Q2, which is the next 6 months, the first half of 2022. And so we'll quickly run through some of their ideas. They have Nex and Leagues 3, which is happening in January, right? In February, they have the Land of the Goblins, which looks like to be a new quest that they're dropping, continuing the Cave Goblin quest line. I mean, it's a quest. It's probably not going to be like a new Grandmaster quest or anything, but a fun quest is always welcomed, which could unlock new areas. Whatever it is, these are always fun to have. So we're getting that in February too, which is like the first time we're hearing about this. March, we got Guardians of Gielinor and a community event. So community event is largely unknown. They might have mentioned it on a live stream, but I'll be honest, since the baby, I've been pretty busy. I haven't been able to keep up too much with them, but whatever. But Guardians of Gielinor looks to be a rune crafting mini game, which is probably going to be kind of polarizing. I think it depends. I don't know where the community is at these days, but there used to be pushback whenever you introduced a new way to train a skill. But rune crafting has been one of the slowest skills for forever, I think. Very slow skill to train.
I think something needs to be done about the grind to get to blood runes because it sucks. It's one of the universally hated things in the game. So I think there needs to be an option to ZMI that is, better, at least more fun and has engaging rewards, which would be nice to see.
That's the big one, is make it fun. And it's this call that I've been kind of asking for a bit, is that, okay, we get faster training methods or we get different training methods. I'm at the point where we need to have fun training methods for every skill. Like, you should be able to enjoy rune crafting and not, and when I say fun, there's some people are going to be like, well, I have fun, being tick perfect with lava runes. That's not what I mean.
Yeah, but you'll still be able to do that, and that's likely going to remain the best XP in the game.
Yeah.
There should be an option, something like Temperos, Winter Todd.
Exactly.
Where it's like a little bit more laid back, but also quite enjoyable.
So those are fun, and so that's what they're calling Guardians of Gielinor.
Yo, quick aside. If you're out there and you do want to get 77 rune crafting, I highly, highly suggest doing Day Alt Essence. I've mentioned this before.
Right.
It's gonna, from 65 to 77, it will take you about 10 hours of mining Day Alt Essence, but it is so AFK. You can do it on mobile, you can do it wherever you got AFK time, mine Day Alt Essence, and then you'll only have to do 20 hours of ZMI instead of having to do 30 with Pure Essence. So basically, you will have to do, in the end, a couple extra hours. I think it's 11% less efficient or 9%. I can't remember exactly, but it's 100% worth it because that inefficiency time is just you AFKing, clicking this rock every 45 seconds. 100% worth it. And then you're going to be getting 55k an hour at ZMI, which is really, really good. So, yeah, with the Day Alt. So I highly suggest you do that.
Put on your list of tasks that because people might say, well, 10 hours, that's still a long time. But it's not long if you're playing another game, or if you're whatever it is, I'll be watching TV with the missus and I might jump on my phone. I'm like, okay, I'm going to AFK on my phone while I watch Selling Sunset. We've been watching that recently.
I did Day Alt while I wrote report cards one year. I think it was last year, because it was rhythmic. Every 30 seconds I could click. So then it was pretty AFK. So I did that.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't do ZMI while you're writing report cards, to tell you that.
Or you
garbage.
In the comments, the sentence just stops midway because you just moved on.
It's too many clicks for too little experience. Blood runes are fantastic. You only have to click a little bit. You're making some money. You're getting some blood runes if you're an Iron Man. It's AFK. It's just absolutely great content. Laid back and chill. ZMI, same experience rates, but you have to bank, you have to exit your bank multiple times and stuff. Oh, it's just awful.
Gotta teleport.
You have to stam up, you gotta teleport, you gotta talk to the Dark Mage when your pouches break, you have to follow people, and then if you get stuck, it won't work.
Oh, yep.
But I think if you use an essence on someone, then you won't get stuck. I think.
Really? Wow, that's a pro tip.
That once, which was a cheeky pro tip. Obviously, if they stop and you use it on them, it won't work anymore. But
yeah, true.
I think you won't get stuck on the corners like you do sometimes. So give that a go and tell me if it works, because I imagine it does, because I trust the person who told me. So
that sounds good to me. But yeah, it's nice having different ways to train it, whether it's AFK, but having fun ways to train it would be great too. And that's what I think their goal is for this Guardians of Gielinor. So yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm totally down for that. So that is looking to be a March event. At the very least, we'll probably see a dev blog talking about it. April, we get Beneath Cursed Sands and the Easter event. So Beneath Cursed Sand is the quest you must complete before you can do the third raid. So that doesn't mean the third raid's coming out in April. It actually looks like it's going to be coming out in July, August, September, maybe. But similar to getting the Frozen Key for next, you can get the quest done in advance so that you can jump right into the raid when you need to. And then in May, there's the PvP Arena, which will be replacing the Duel Arena. And this is cool. I don't really know what this is going to be, but frick, if we can get like an arena. So World of Warcraft has PvP arenas where it's you, like small team battles. So you'll have like a 2v2, 3v3, or 5v5 groups that you can face each other. And then there's a whole ELO system, which is, I don't even know what that stands for, but I think it comes from League of Legends, where, you know, you have like a ranking leader, a ranking ladder that you get paired up to people of similar rankings.
Yeah, called ELO. Yeah, it's like a hidden ranking system.
Yeah, RuneScape, we don't use that for whatever reason, but
because there's no rankings for anything.
But even like LMS, right? Not enough people do LMS, and there is LMS rankings, but everyone just gets thrown
wins
together.
And losses and stuff, right?
I think it's just random. I think everyone just gets thrown together.
ELO is also based on like what the rating of your teammates and your enemy is. You can gain a certain amount of points. I think it used to be like back when Overwatch came out and I was playing that, they had it as well. But then they added other stuff like it based on your performance too. So like how many kills you get. But in League, it's not relevant. It's just wins and losses. But other games, they add in stuff like, oh, how well you performed or how long you're on fire or whatever it is.
So yeah, I'm really hoping this PvP arena that we're seeing in May is like a, you know, small team battles that you can get rankings for, which would allow you to maybe get like cool cosmetics if you're a higher ranking. It's just something that you could be more competitive about without just being like, oh, I have a higher number than you. Like LMS, you can be competitive, but like the number one player will be facing the lowest level player if they're in the same lobby. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it becomes unfun if you play against people that just smash you all the time, which is why it's important to have rating systems in anything that's genuinely competitive.
And likewise, that's how you get those intense moments in like League of Legends and stuff, is when you're facing somebody who is equal skill level. That's when things get intense, because that's how you can like outplay someone and you feel good about it.
Yeah. And
it's not fun when you smash
stuck
someone
at a certain rank, but they just suck, so.
Yeah. The old ELO hell.
Yeah, sort of break your bubble. You just suck.
Yeah. You got to get good. And of course, the final month of June, we have a skilling update and wilderness boss rework. So they're reworking all of those bosses.
Finally, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but it's definitely finally. It's been a while, but if this is actually how content rolls out, holy shit, is 2022 going to be a crazy year?
Yeah,
and if this is what they keep doing... They also
have more things, right? Like, isn't there a thieving guild coming out?
I'm so glad you mentioned that. There is. There's like... They've mentioned these things in the past. So let's go through this. This isn't even all that's been mentioned. So they also have these latest pitches, what they're calling ideations. And it looks like just to be these ideas for content that they've been kind of working with. They almost have this like secret list that they've added all of these like pieces of content to that sometimes gets forgotten over the years. You know, I've mentioned, if you go into the Varrock Museum, there is in the basement where you put your fossils from Fossil Island, there is a room that is gated off and it's completely empty, but it's a big room that's not being used for anything. And people complain that rare fossils from Fossil Islands basically have like no use. Sure, you can turn them into the fossil exhibit in the Varrock Museum, but besides that, there's not much use for it. And it's because when Fossil Island first came out, one of the mods who worked on it had mentioned that they want the fossils to be used to access a new demi-boss, which a lot of people were assuming it was going to be a wyvern of some sorts. And a lot of people think that's the Varrock Museum, that the area that's guarded off, that was going to be where the boss was going to take place. But then that mod quit, and it kind of fell on the back burner and got forgotten. So the next few things we're going to be talking about is basically some of those ideas that get forgotten about, but it's been on this like little list for a while. So that's kind of cool. They have it kind of on their radar. So the first one is Fairy Tale Part 3, which is a new edition, new quest, continuing that storyline. And they mentioned it's going to unlock some new fairy rings. See, there's my speech impediment coming out again. Fairy wings, and an update to the magic oh god, I can't say this word. Secateurs. Carlos, gotta help me out here.
Yeah, secateurs. Yeah, you got it.
Whew,
Well
thank
done. You also got tithe right earlier, which was pretty impressive.
I know. Someone called me out way back, and I've always made sure to not mess that one up. And I got some kudos for it from last week's episode. So that's appreciate, guys. Appreciate it. So yeah, there's a new quest coming out for that, and then they have the Guild of Shadows, which was kind of teased back in 2018. They did a April Fool's joke called Advanced Warfare Skill, which was basically like Call of Duty that they turned into a skill. It was
So
all
funny.
for fun. You can get a tactical nuke and all that sort of stuff. Or there's the Australianizer, which would turn everything upside down. It's funny stuff.
So good.
Yeah. But they said for real, though, that they had an idea in there that actually they were like, that's not a bad idea. And it's called the Guild of Shadows, which is going to be a new thieving guild, which will kind of have thieving-based contracts. So, for example, the example they give is you might be asked to infiltrate an area to destroy some supplies or to plant an incriminating document on an unsuspecting character. This will give you rep for the guild, and you can also get experience and other rewards, too. I love the idea of a rep system. I don't know why we don't have that yet. We kind of have it with favor. As I say this, I hope it's not like favor for Kren, because that shit's boring. But more things to grind out is always fun. They also have tourist attraction. So there's the tourist guide is going to want some help setting up some new adventurous activities to bring new visitors to Kandaren. Once these have been set up, they could be used as a new training method for various skills. You know, for example, rock climbing. There might be a rock climbing wall near Backstorian Falls, which will allow you to earn agility and strength experience. That's just one example. It'll be also pretty skill based. So yeah, that seems interesting. And then last but not least, Sulfus is going to be a tortoise skilling boss, which is designed between 1 and 3 players. It'll be a two-phase boss. The first one, you'll be prepping using hunter and woodcutting to get supplies ready to defeat the boss. And then the second phase will be the actual fight itself, where you'll be using a mix of farming and construction to build traps. And these traps you'll then use these traps to lure the boss onto to do damage. And beating the boss will give you new rewards like new range ammo, new farming equipment, and of course a new pet.
Yeah, honestly, like if all this stuff comes out next year, I'm so excited. Man,
Bro,
I love the idea. I love the imagine content. No, just imagine all this comes out. It'd be nuts. Like it'd be a great year for the game. I'm really happy they're coming out with like this the Guild of Shadows. I think every skill should have a guild in the game.
Maybe not. It doesn't have to be a guild in name, but like having like the Guild of Shadows, that's cool.
But just like having a location where that skill is sort of, trained, or there's little pieces like, there's the mining guild. Yeah, you get the mining gloves, you get amethyst. There's a whole bunch of different methods to train it. There's Motherlode Mine around the corner. Farming guild, one of the best updates of all time.
That one's sweet.
I'll say that one. There's even some of the older guilds like fishing guild. At least it's still cool, and you have access to things like minnows. I'm sure they could add a little bit more to it. It's older. Ranging guild is in sore need of an update, but back in the day, it was pretty fun.
It was
great.
And what was cool, it was. I have distinct memories of being so excited to access the Ranging Guild, but I have a really fond memory of the Crafting Guild when I was a free to play
for sure.
It was sweet. It was in free to play. You could see it. You passed by it often by Falador. And I remember I was very young. And so my parents were split up and I lived with my mom, but we didn't have internet when we grew up. So I would play it at the library. But when I went to my dad's on the weekend, he did have internet. So I could play it then. And I remember I so badly wanted to get into the Crafting Guild. I don't know why. I think I wasn't able to get into it, which makes you want to get into it. And I remember it was like Saturday night and I like begged my dad to let me stay up late because I needed to grind out 40 crafting to get access to it. And then I remember going to get in and it's like, oh, you need a brown apron. And I was like, where the hell am I going to get a brown apron? But I was so pumped to So anyways, what I'm trying to say is these guilds are awesome. Like they're so exciting to like access it, especially if you're a new player and you just stumble across it. Anyways, big fan of guilds.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like they're really massive. Yeah, like currently I'm always at the crafting guild because it's like one of the best bank in the game with the crafting tape.
That's right.
So I just generally love the guilds. I think they're a great idea, and I'd love to see more of them.
So that's exciting, definitely. And especially when they bring out new guilds, they can't, like the crafting guild. It doesn't have a whole lot of stuff to do there. It's great for a bank access. I don't know. Did you ever use the crafting guild?
I currently use it for the tanner sometimes if I want to tan my hides because it's faster than using the spell.
Okay,
but
cool.
No, just generally I just use it for the bank, and that's all it needs to be for me. You know, like I'm more than happy with it having that, and it's also like a nice looking area, so it's nice to bank there and bank stand stuff.
It's got cows and stuff. That's fun.
And you meet a lot of people at the crafting guild, obviously because everyone has 99 crafting typically.
Yeah.
So you meet sort of similar level Iron Man and other things like that. A lot of mains as well. So
awesome
it's a fun place. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to all these updates, man. Like, I hope we get half of them.
Same.
I'd be happy with that. You know, it's gonna set the bar low.
Do you think we'll get half of them, or do you think we'll get all of them?
I think we pretty much have to. I think we'll get about half, probably more. But I expect some of them will be pushed like raids 3 and stuff because I think the rewards are going to change. But yeah, I think we're going to get quite a lot of these quests guaranteed. Basically, they love to hand out quests on time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be awesome if they pumped out all this stuff as the time limit that they're saying. That's amazing. This would make it so that I'm not bored of my main account. I always have something to do because there's always new content coming out that, you know, I think that's the problem is that we're getting so little content that I get bored of doing Temporos after like, I don't know, a couple 100 KC, even way less than that. You start getting bored, but if you have this much content coming out every single month, holy shit.
It'd be sweet. Be nice to get a few more pets in the game too.
So pets are always fun.
Pets are great. People love pets.
Yeah. So I'm a little skeptical because we haven't even seen, this is the first dev blog that we've seen these mentioned in, and they're all going to get their own dev blogs, and then they got to get pulled and all that stuff as well, and whatever. So I'm a little skeptical that they will release as they're saying it, but hey, whatever. The fact that they're in this dev blog here is saying a lot, I think. So very cool stuff.
Agree. So yeah, hopefully this comes to fruition.
So yeah, next we'll just mention this real quick. The Android beta is over. They did a quick little recap. They had the help of 2,185 active testers. Imagine they probably sent out like one extra to me that I didn't accept. Whoops. So they said that they're glad that everyone tested it out, and they did a little bit of a recap. So if you want to go look into it to see where they're at with the interface update, especially for Android, check out that dev blog. That being said, they are going to be aiming to have an open beta for everyone scheduled at the end of January. So that is coming out soon as well. And then they want to roll out the app officially around the end of February. So again, that's just something else to add to what we might be seeing as well. Now, this is Android only. Unfortunately, for iOS and Apple users, you will be looking to have that beta starting in March of 2022. And then if everything runs out fine with very little or no bugs, it should be released in late April, early May. So something to look forward to there. I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, looking forward to it.
We're almost there. Christmas 2021. Every year they bring out a Christmas event. So go check it out. I'm always late for this. I'm always like, oh, this comes out. Let me do it before we record the podcast. And then we're recording the podcast. And I'm always like, damn it, I haven't done it yet. But I'll definitely be doing it. I do it every year because I want the rewards are usually pretty cool. And I want to just keep up with them. And honestly, they're always pretty fun. I like what they do with Christmas events. They polled a while ago that they asked the community, should we continue to put all this dev work into it or should we slow down? Everyone said, you know what? Don't worry about it. We don't care that much. So then they had like a year where we didn't get much to do. It looks like that they kind of maybe put their interns on this or something, but we're starting to get these fun events popping back up again, which is exciting. Have you had a chance to do this?
I have not. I'm usually a little bit late as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I don't mind little small events with cheeky rewards, but nothing too intense.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
you don't want it to become like a chore. You want it to be like a fun little thing.
Yeah, you don't want to make it feel like you have to do it, and oh my god, this thing is so long. I just want it to end to get the rewards. If you're looking up a guide for it, then that's never a good sign.
I usually do, so
yeah, no.
I just space bar through it. It's not really my thing.
There's some of the Halloween ones have been fun though, but yeah, when they're not fun, that's when you're like instantly looking for a guide to like space bar and through it. All right. And last thing to mention about Christmas, if you are on the RuneLite client using 117's HD plugin, you'll see that they made the whole world of Gielinor look pretty nice. There's snow everywhere. It looks really great. That's a fun touch that he's added to it. And then Falador, you can tell it when Jagex really stepped in to do it. So
yeah, no, it looks great.
All right. Last announcement, and then we are done. And that is the 11th annual Golden Gnome Awards. We'll run through some of the winners of each year, if nothing more than to be like, hey, check them out. If you haven't heard of them before, or you're looking for a new YouTuber to watch, might be worth it. Yeah, so the best new old school RuneScape video creator of this year was Hanani. She is some people were saying, why is she winning? Because she used to be a RuneScape 3 content creator, but this is for old school specifically. Actually, we're only going to talk about old school. We'll leave out the RuneScape 3, but she started a community account, which kind of, I don't know if she's
hilarious.
It is very funny. I don't know if she's the first one to do it, but she made an account where she gave out the password to her community, her fan base, and let anyone play it whenever they want. And it is pretty funny. And we actually have our community accounts because of it. People were like, that's a fun video. Let's make some of our own. So we have a normal Ultimate Iron Man and an Iron Man community account for the podcast. They're not on as much anymore, but some of them have got some grinds in for sure. Some people were going hard on it. It's honestly
such a good series. Hanani's videos are very different than a lot of people. She has a great sense of humor too, so worth checking out.
Yeah, so there's the best new old school RuneScape video creator, and then of course best old school RuneScape video creator. In general, that one goes to Soup RS, but honorable mentions Settled, Solo Missions, and Guns Chili as well. They were the runner-ups there.
Funny, the ones that I all mentioned for being really good at editing videos.
Yeah. Personally, big fan of C Engineer's PvP Hardcore Iron Man series. I think it's been finished, or maybe he restarted it, but I really like that one. One of my favorite series that I've ever seen.
I agree. I do think Guns Chili's the best editor in the game. By quite a large margin. The other three are very good as well, especially Solo Mission's music choice is fantastic.
Nice.
And obviously Soup's series is really cool because he brings the content creators together. So well deserved.
Yeah.
But yeah, all four of them make great videos.
And then next is best old school RuneScape video of the year. And of course, a lot of big ones this year, but Swampletics, the movie. Is this the finale or just the movie?
It's the finale.
No, it looks like it's the movie. But that's the last episode, I believe. The second last, actually.
Oh, really?
That's surprising.
Oh, either one. The movie, whatever the hour and a half one, was really good.
That's the final you're talking about?
Yeah, the one where he does the theater.
Okay, yeah. So there's Swampletics, and if you haven't seen him, go watch the series. That series really pushed the limit for it really pushed the bar, and I think it inspired a lot of other people to really up their game for storytelling when it comes to old school RuneScape videos. That's what I noticed, at least when Swampletics started making videos, or the Swampletics series started. I started seeing a shift with a lot of other people kind of really.
It was a game changer for sure.
Swampletics, the movie, episode number 32 of his Swampletics series, won for video of the year. But that being said, the series finale came out one episode after that, which I actually thought was going to be the winner, but whatever. The movie's still great too. I actually haven't seen the finale yet, but I'm sure it's amazing. I'm waiting for a nice snowy night where I'm bundled up at home with some hot chocolate to watch it. Anyways,
it's great. Honestly, watch it. The little smoky edit is just unbelievable about halfway through.
That's awesome.
Yeah, unbelievable. Definitely worth watching.
Maybe I'll watch it today. We'll see. So yeah, Swampletics, the movie, episode number 32, won the video of the year, but special shout out to the final countdown, Gielinor Games finale, number 11, which the Gielinor Games is also a series. I've only seen the first episode, but I really friggin' enjoyed it. As somebody who likes both RuneScape, believe it or not, but I also really like reality TV.
Yeah, you do. Everyone knows that by now. Come on.
Exactly. But the Gielinor games is like both of them put together. Really enjoyable. I really like the first episode, and this is my problem. This is what I do. I'm like, oh man, I have such a busy week. I'm gonna save this series for like a day I can sit down and like watch it consistently. And I've done the same with the Swampletics finale. But it's really good. It's basically like the Olympics of Gielinor of RuneScape,
yeah.
And he brings on a bunch of content creators.
It's so good. Yeah, I was watching it while I was doing Cree. My Cree method was so relaxed. I was watching series on the side. It was great.
Oh, it is sick. And the next runner-up was the best RuneScape video ever made by Solo Missions. And then Karamia only UIM Inferno, the series finale.
Wait,
50,
sorry, you say that one again, Dills. You say that one again.
I said Karamia.
Oh my god, guys, what is he doing?
I usually say Karamja, but people are like, you're not pronouncing it properly. And I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll pronounce. You want to hear me pronounce it properly?
It's Karamja. Why are you saying Karamya? Are you not supposed to pronounce the J?
I'm pretty sure the J, for if someone was native from Karamya, the J would be silent. No.
Okay, in this made-up language on Karamya, then okay,
exactly.
Fine.
And then same with Al-Krad. That's what I would normally. You know what?
Oh, I'm not having this. I'm not having
2022 Dills is going to be fine. It's Al-Khalid. I'll pronounce it probably.
Dills,
fine.
You can't do it. You can't do this to me or the people. Just go back to the horrible mispronunciation if that's the way it has to be. It's like if you ever hear a Verf pronounce things, it's painful. But I understand because, English is not his first language, and I respect that. But you, Dills, that's a whole other story.
It's I went to school with this guy who would, whenever he would say like, he would do the same thing. He'd be like, oh yes, I went to Paris when I was like 17 years old, and he like would pronounce it the same way someone from Paris would pronounce it.
Bothers me quite a lot.
I'm from Paris, and he doesn't call it Japan. He calls it Nippon. I call it Nippon or whatever it's like actually pronounced there.
That's tough. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Guys, I need help.
Please, no more Karamia.
No
Please,
Karamia.
I can't handle it.
Karamia.
What were you saying about Karamia?
So the series from Verf, getting swindled a little bit there. The next runner-up is the Karamja.
Yeah, by the way, Verf, absolute gamer in the
only
Inferno.
UIM Inferno series finale. Yeah, that was
that was nuts, man.
I haven't seen that either. I'm so behind. But I was watching
his. The man can flick.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm surprised the series. I thought he quit the series, to be honest, but glad to see he finished there. Okay, we're at the finish line here. Best new old school RuneScape streamer goes to Tasty. It's a big shout out there. Best old school RuneScape streamer in general goes to It's Will. Best new old school RuneScape artist goes to Witchcrafty. I think she makes like plushies, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she makes plushies. Right. Some pretty cool stuff. And best old school RuneScape artist goes to Hootie Tootie. I believe they are a video creator. So some cool stuff there. I'm not super
familiar with the artists, but more the streamers and the video makers for sure.
Yeah,
that's cool,
definitely.
Though. Love the golden gnomes. Well deserved.
Mm-hmm. Well, lastly, we got the best old school RuneScape creation, and funny enough, it goes to 117 for the 117scape HD plugin on RuneLite.
I think that's well deserved.
It's well deserved.
It's just also hilarious that he wins a golden gnome for it, right?
Jagex goes from trying to ban him to like giving him an award, so that's hilarious. Okay, we did it. All right. Anything to mention before we take a break?
Nope.
Okay.
Come join the Discord so you can be in bingo next time. And if you're in bingo this time, I hope you enjoy it.
All right, we're taking a quick little break and heading on over to the Grand Exchange, where we basically tell you how you can support the show. If you've been listening this whole time, you're like, man, I just want to support the show. I just want to finance the amazing work at the Wilderness Podcast. This is how you can do it. But before we get into that, we like to start off talking about some fun, anything that we can kind of relate to the Grand Exchange. And of course, this week with next on the horizon in the new year. Holy crap, guys. Have you seen the price of some of the items that have just been soaring? So Jagex has been teasing that crossbows will, in fact, be useful, very useful at next, which is kind of expected. There's a new crossbow dropping, and usually the way Jagex likes to do things is when you're farming a piece of content, it'll drop items that makes farming that piece of content a little bit easier. You know, we have that with Theater of Blood with like the scythe. We have that with Chambers of Zarek with like the twisted bow. And of course, many people believe we're gonna have that with next with this new crossbow and some of the other range equipment as well. So no surprise there. But the Armadillo crossbow, guys, if you have been thinking about tackling some Saradomin Commander Ziliana, now is the time to do it. It rose from what 20-ish mil, 21, 22 mil. And over the course of a month, it has gone up. It has risen by 4 times the value. It is at 80 mil right now. That is insane. Seeing this thing soar in value. So now is the time to start doing some Commander Ziliana. Now is the time to do that. You know, Bando's equipment going up a little bit as well because of the new, what is it called? Is it Vestas or Torva? I can't remember. That sort of gear is causing it to go up a little bit, but not as much. It's not as fun to talk about. It's only a couple mil. Only a couple mil there, but holy crap, is that insane, the Armadillo crossbow. So go out there, start farming Ziliana, and get those. That's something I want to do, because you can kind of do it on mobile. If you're fairly high level, it's not too bad at all, but yeah, I guess I need that big GP drop. That would be insane. All right, that's something I just noticed, and I thought it was pretty whack, so I wanted to bring it up. But of course, the purpose of this segment is to tell you how you can support the show. Guys, if you want to supplement, if you've been listening to this podcast and you're like, hey, I want some more of the Wilderness Podcast, we do offer some bonus content on the Patreon. I started doing this thing called the Dill's Diaries. Which is basically me talking about whatever segment. It started because, you know, normally I sit down and when Jagex does their weekly live stream, I watch it, do some commentary. One week I went to go do that. It was all set up. I didn't realize they didn't do it this week. It was just nothing happened. So I just did a little ramble on my own, and I kind of had fun with it. And I decided I want to do this more often. So I released an episode last week talking about the questing system in old school RuneScape, comparing it to other games as well. And I've had some great feedback. People seem to really like it. So if you want to go check it out, those bonus episodes are on the Patreon as well. And we also do as I mentioned, the live stream commentary every single week. Normally, since the baby, I had to put a pause on that. But in the new year, my plan is to start pumping out more and more content over there as well. So that's patreon.com/TheWildernessPodcast. I have to welcome Caden Boomer Jones to the Patreon this week. Thank you so much for the support. And of course, a big thank you to all of our top tier supporters: Gentinu, Splimo, Szechuan, Strosity, Mallard, Twisted Soul, Jay Blasey, Space, Chandler, and Yay Fiber. Thank you guys so much for the support. It means a lot. But hey, if your Patreon is not your thing, but you still want to donate, if you still want to support the show, you can do that via a virtual coffee on buymeacoffee.com/dills. And so I have to thank Angie666 for keeping me caffeinated this week. And finally, we have a Discord, discord.gg/thewilderness, all one word. And we have that unique title because of a handful of folk who are boosting the server. So thank you to Battlestaffs, Chick, Hoyt, Should've, and Normie Farts. Oh my god. The names in this game, guys. What's... You know, we're all in there like mid to late 20s too. That's too... Oh god. Yeah, Jesus. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Yeah, let's get on back onto the episode, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in if you've been listening thus far.
Do you have fond memories, by the way, of doing playing RuneScape at Christmas time? I just remember like waking up, cracking some presents, having a hot chocolate, then sending some scape while my parents were cooking dinner.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. It's tough because like I can't remember specifically for Chris. I can remember. I remember when days when like there's like a snow day, and then I went home and I just played RuneScape all day. Christmas is a tough one. I don't know if I have specifically Christmas.
Maybe it's because my Christmases were, like I mentioned, I don't have a lot of family, so my Christmases were always just me and my family, and then sometimes we'd have our neighbors around for like dinner or something. But we were never. It was always low key. I've never done like the big 15-person Christmas, which I've heard can be quite stressful. Have you ever done one of those massive get-togethers?
Sort of. I remember my grandparents used to do like little parties, but it was like a bunch of old people, and I would just be in the basement playing video games, with all like the other grandkids, and I was always the oldest, so I just made everyone watch me play like PlayStation or something.
Fair enough.
And I think with RuneScape in general, because I didn't grow up with internet unless it was at my dad's. Anytime I was at my dad's, whether it was for Christmas or not, I was playing RuneScape, so it all just blends in yeah.
Oh well, but I tried to crack the memories there, Dills. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to a little bit of time off here. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it's going to be good, especially with bingo. It is going to be fun. So again, let's mention bingo is going to be happening. By the time you hear this, it'll be probably too late to sign up. But hey, you can come watch everyone else have fun, or maybe you can ask to be put as a backup if somebody bails. I don't know. I'm just kind of bringing this one up. Maybe.
Yeah, hit me up on Discord if you're like really, really interested and sad you missed out. I can put you as a backup, or potentially, one team might not quite have enough players. So we can make it. We can maybe make it happen if you've just really missed it.
Big asterisk on that one.
Big asterisk, but send me a message on Discord if that's the case.
Good stuff. All right. So our Discord is discord.gg/TheWilderness, all one word. You can join there. It's also a link in the description here. Our email is TheWildernessPodcast@gmail.com if you want to send us a message, and we'll read it on air. Our clan is Clan Just Wild, so you can join it as a guest. If you want to join the clan itself, just ask somebody in there and they'll get you in. Or you can also join the friends chat, Wild CC, but it's a little quiet these days because we're all in the clan instead. So definitely recommend that. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, good stuff. You got any?
Hopefully we get some episodes out over Christmas, but I guess they're going to be a little bit thinner than last year because of the baby. So we'll see what we can do, right?
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. My goal for 2022 is to do more. It's gonna sound crazy. Going to be doing more podcasting, but that's just my goal there. We'll make it work. But of course, is it next episode? Around New Year's, we have to do our New Year's Spectacular, which is when we do a recap of 2021. We look at all the updates and all the drama and controversy that might have happened. It's been this game always has some wacky stuff going on there, and then of course, it's always fun to talk about what the New Year's resolutions are. Heartless, maybe what you have planned for the year of 2022. And then, we're still podcasting in 2023. We'll revisit that recap.
I've been here for like a year now, which is crazy to think.
It is crazy to think. Time flies. Like I can't even, it's been a year because I remember last Christmas time we like sat down and we did like a blitz.
Yeah, with magpies as well.
Yeah, there was like 4 episodes in like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, that was nuts. And yeah, I guess it's been a whole year. It doesn't feel like it.
Did we do a New Year's recap last year? I don't know if we did.
We didn't. So I remember there was a whole story about that. You not wanting to edit it.
That was for 2020.
That was the year before. You just released that one day. It's fun.
I think I deleted it because it was like it was on my desktop.
It's just too much stress.
Yeah, it's too much stress. Oh boy. Yeah. Maybe I'll go back. I'm going to go back and listen to our New Year's episode from last year and see if we talked about some resolutions. Because if we did, we'll have to revisit those to see if we kept up with it.
That'd be fun. I know what mine were. I wrote them in Discord last year.
Oh, really? Okay, then we'll definitely have to revisit that.
I got hilariously further than I expected. So,
awesome.
But yeah, pretty good.
That's going to be fun to see then. All right. Do you have a music track that you want to end this episode on?
I don't. Why don't we throw on a Christmas track though?
That would make sense. Okay. What do we have?
Just gonna
Oh my God.
troll everyone and throw on some Mariah Carey. At the end.
No. Oh, there is a bunch. Okay, we have Diango's Little Helpers. We have Jungle Bells. We have Jungle Island Xmas. We have Land of Snow. We have Scrubfoot's Descent.
Oof.
And we have Sea Shanty Xmas. Oh, and we have Too Many Cooks and Winter Fun Fair. Which one stands out to you?
I feel like Land of Snow or Sea Shanty Xmas. We're gonna go with one of those two.
Let's do Land of Snow because I think Sea Shanty Xmas it's been done.
There's
another podcast that's definitely going to be doing that one. So let's
for sure. Let's do Land of Snow.
Land of Snow. So this is it is unlocked in the Land of Snow during 2017's Christmas event, and you can unlock it after doing any Christmas event thereafter. It is an adaptation of the classic piece Jupiter, the Bringer of Jollity from the orchestral suite The Planets by Gustav Holst. Wow, I have no idea what that is. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's my favorite track, Dills.
Oh man, I knew it. All right, originally released in 2007. So yeah,
awesome.
Land of Snow.
Can't wait to hear it.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Enjoy time with the family.
Enjoy your time, and we'll see you for the New Year's episode.
Oh yeah, and get ready for bingo, baby.
Oh yeah, take care, everyone.